Okay. So, this is interesting. Now, this video is unscripted. I'm just throwing this together in a course of a couple minutes. I just wanted to go over something I saw on Twitter earlier and just share my thoughts about it. So, Adam Wingard, the director of Godzilla vs. Kong and Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, apparently wants his next MonsterVerse movie in the trilogy to focus more on Godzilla, which is good, if you ask me. That's very good. Because I like Kong very much in the MonsterVerse, but Godzilla has been playing second fiddle to Kong for a little while now, and I'm kind of tired of that, so I'm glad that we're shifting perspective, right? But the part that caught my attention the most about this is he wants the movie to be as emotional as Godzilla vs. Destoroyah. That is very good news. I of course made a defense video about how the MonsterVerse is allowed to have wacky films. It's allowed to cover wacky subjects. That's the whole point of Godzilla, is, like I just said in my most recent video, how flexible he is, how different he can be in each movie, each iteration, whatever, right? So, of course, there's no problem with that, but my only thing is that if you keep up a tone for too long without change, it gets a bit old. Like, if you stay too goofy for too long, it's like, alright, can we get back to the serious stuff now? I feel like if the next movie were to be a goofy one, I would be kind of tired of it, but to hear this is good. I like this. Now, of course, when you look at tweets like these, you of course gotta check out the actual article itself, so I did just that, and the article gave a few more details, obviously, than the tweet itself gave, including a possible tease of baby Godzilla, since he was in that movie, of course, in Destoroyah. But now, me personally, I haven't seen Godzilla vs. Destoroyah. I'm going to, though, hopefully sooner than later, because I'm currently watching through all the Godzilla movies. I'm still in the Showa era for my big all movies reviewed video series, right? I'm planning on doing that, so hopefully I'll see it sometime soon. But anyway, do I want a baby Godzilla in the MonsterVerse? I mean, we kind of already have that with Zuko and Kong, so doing a baby Godzilla one movie later would feel kind of weird. I don't know, man. Maybe later down the line, if this series goes on for long enough, sure, why not, But right now, I don't think so. Now, of course, Adam didn't confirm or deny whether or not there was going to be a baby Godzilla. He only shared he only shared a minor insight, right? As these directors and producers usually do. So it's not like he's saying that it's going to happen. It's just this article is just kind of throwing the idea out there, Which, I mean, again, I'm not totally against the idea of a baby Godzilla being in the MonsterVerse. It's just that, not now, Wait a little bit, I guess. Because we already have this with Zuko and Kong, and it would feel really weird to just do the same thing over again in the next movie. But anyway, now, during the interview, Adam, of course, goes on to say, when he was asked about his next movie and, whether or not Godzilla Jr. or whatever, right? He said, "I'll say this. One of my top Godzilla movies is Godzilla vs. Destoroyah. The reason it's one of my favorite films is I don't think any other Godzilla movie, maybe outside of -1 and the 1954 original, has ever hit such emotional heights. The ending of that film, when Godzilla Jr. dies and subsequently Godzilla fucking melts to death, is so poignant and also beautiful in the way that they do it. The first time I saw it brought tears to my eyes, and part of that is thanks to Akira Ifukube's, did I get that right? Grand score that plays in that scene." So he continues with, "It's crazy because you look at Godzilla vs. Destoroyah, and it's a very high-end version of having a guy in a Godzilla suit. I would say it's probably the peak of it, because I don't think it's been matched in terms of that version. The quality and the scale of having Godzilla brought to life through an actor in a suit. But that's the thing for me. If I were to go on to do another one of these films, I would want to hit that kind of emotional resonance with Godzilla as a character this time. That's what I'll say for now. Okay, so he likes that movie, obviously, and he, I guess, wants to take inspiration from that, right? And he wants to hit the same emotional height, which, again, I haven't seen this movie, but from what I know, that's a very high bar. So, dude, if you want to shoot for that, that's awesome. I fully support you with that. I think he can do it. I do. I haven't seen any of his movies outside of the MonsterVerse. I might check some out just to see, you know, maybe if they're more serious or whatever. Apparently he did thrillers, horror movies before the MonsterVerse, so it's interesting. I think he could pull off a serious tone. I do. Godzilla vs. Kong, Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire, they were a bit more wacky, especially Godzilla X Kong. I mean, while I thought Godzilla X Kong was kind of mediocre, but it's still enjoyable. But I mean, it was just the quality of it overall was kind of mediocre. But Godzilla vs. Kong, I liked that one. I think that one was pretty solid. And I think it's kind of unfortunate how a lot of fans seem to, maybe not a lot, I don't know, maybe it's a vocal minority, I don't know, I'm not that invested in people like this, but a decent amount of people seem to really hate this guy for some reason. I don't know why. I guess every community has that group of people that just hates a director or something that's working on these movies. So it's to be expected, I suppose, but I don't see why. I mean, do I agree with everything he's done with the MonsterVerse? No, of course not. Do I still like some of the things that he's done? Yeah, of course, absolutely. I mean, I said Godzilla X Kong was kind of mediocre. Doesn't mean it was bad. I still enjoyed it. I saw it twice. I saw it once the first time with someone else, and then the second time because there were a couple things I just couldn't get out of my head, and I wanted to go back to see it again and just get a better idea of what I was watching, you know? So I took a notepad and wrote some stuff down, took some notes whenever I had a thought or an idea. While the writing can be kind of messy sometimes, it's the lore, the world building is great, you know? The action is awesome. While it has its issues, it's not as horrible as some people like to say. But again, that's unrelated, I guess. I'll get more into that when I actually do my whole all movies reviewed thing or whatever. But for now, I'm looking forward to this. This has piqued my interest, honestly, seeing that he's interested in doing a seemingly darker and more emotional tone for a movie instead of the same, you know, goofy, just out there stuff that he's done before, which I like that stuff, that's fine, but this is, I like a change of pace. I'd like to see a cycle with the MonsterVerse. I don't want to see the MonsterVerse stay grounded and serious. I'd like to see it just kind of embrace the wildness of this franchise too, right? Of course. But at the same time, I don't also want it to just stay wild and crazy, right? I also want it to go back to being serious every once in a while. Like, I haven't seen Monarch Legacy of Monsters, but I hear it's pretty serious. I hear it's grounded-ish, maybe. But I might check it out sometime. Maybe make a video on it. I don't know. But this has piqued my interest. I'm into this. I'm digging this. I think he could pull it off if he screws his head on right. So yeah, that's, I guess, my thoughts for now. If anything else about this comes out sooner than later, I'll make another video on it. I'm now looking forward to the next MonsterVerse installment, so let me know what you guys think. Do you prefer the wacky side of the MonsterVerse? Do you prefer the serious side? Do you want a mix of both? Are you excited for the next movie? Just, let me know. See some conversation, I guess. I don't know. Just have a good one. Bye.